right, cool. So we are here at PJ Shop, man. So now I'm pretty sure it did not always start off like this, right? So just tell me a little bit more about the backstory and how'd you be able to get yourself inside of a brick and mortar full of clothes, getting sold out from people like Spike Lee coming to your spot. Like, what was the backstory behind your success today?
Well, I was working odd jobs my first year in New York. I moved here about 13 years ago. And my first year in New York was, rough like anyone's first year in New York with no connections and no money. So,
Where'd you move from?
well, at the time I was in Mississippi, but I've been in Florida. I was born and raised in Oklahoma. I've lived in Washington State. I've lived in a lot of different places.
What's in Washington State, bro?
Weed farm.
Okay. All right. And what about like, cause I could have sworn you was from New York. I'll be honest. I would have thought you was from New York from the way how
My
you
girlfriend's
got the
from New York
heart.
and she thinks I'm from.
Yeah, I would have thought that too. But yeah, so just tell me a little bit back on the backstory, like from, Washington, Mississippi, Florida, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in Oklahoma. I've always had an artistic, creative mind. My dad kind of put that in place. When I was 2 years old, I started drawing. So he taught me how to read and draw, or he at least taught me how to read, and then he would draw, and I would see him draw, and I was like, oh, what's Daddy doing? Oh,
Yeah.
he's drawing. And so I thought I'd try it.
Yeah.
At the age of 2, I started drawing, and I enjoyed it, and it's never stopped. So that's what I'm going to do when I have a kid. I'm going to teach him him or her how to read, and then I'm going to draw it and see if the same shit happens.
Okay. All right, cool. And then
So I'm looking forward to that.
when did this business venture actually start up? Like, when did you start making money? How'd you start up?
I guess in high school, I started. I found this like Google image of a Shaolin monk, and I thought he just looked like the cool OG monk, like with the beard,
Yeah.
And so I did like I like flipped the image to like a negative image, like a photograph.
Yeah.
And I just thought it looked fly, so I started putting it on shirts, and people were like, "What, yo, where'd you get that OG monk?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I made it."
Right.
And so I just started making it, and I'll never forget. Like,
How much you sold them for in high school?
oh, I don't know, maybe like $20, but a whole bunch of people bought one, and so I told everyone to come in one day and wear it, and sure enough, like one day, like 30 people was wearing the same shirt, and I was like, I think I can do something with this, And it wasn't even a drawing, which is crazy.
Right.
It was just like the whole idea of the garment.
Okay,
thing.
so
But I would actually draw too. I would draw like cartoons and sell them too.
yeah.
So I just kind of merged the two.
Okay, so now do you have that design here? Is it here now?
That's like stupid old, man.
Oh, that's the OG piece.
Yeah, I would have to go to my mom's closet back home, and maybe she got a picture of that.
Yeah, okay.
So.
All right, so tell me about the New York, the transit system story from, the subways to brick and mortar. Tell me about that story.
So my last job that I got actually a paycheck from was ADT.
Is that like the home?
Yeah,
like the,
home security system.
Okay.
So I was knocking door to door.
Yeah.
And I remember being out in like Far Rockaway in the winter one day, and like the wind was like piercing through all my garments, and I was just like, what am I doing? Like, I gotta do something. Like, I came here, I actually dropped out of college to move here, so I didn't finish my degree. I had an opportunity to sleep on my friend's couch. So I was like, this might be the only opportunity I'll ever have in my life to move to New York, and this is where I wanted to be. So I said, all right. So I came here. My first job was at Serendipity. I was a host at that restaurant in the Upper East Side.
Okay.
And got fired from that.
Yeah.
And then just had a bunch of random jobs. I was in Hugh Jackman's apartment at one point. I was doing a high-end construction job.
Okay.
And had no business there. But I was up in like within 3 months of me moving here, I was in Hugh Jackman's apartment overlooking the Hudson River.
And who's Hugh
He's like
Jackman?
Wolverine from the Marvel movie.
Oh.
He's Wolverine. He's done a bunch of stuff, but Wolverine's one of the most known things.
Oh, wow.
He's a super talented actor, but he sings. He does Broadway. Yeah. But I just remember one day, like, I was in his apartment, just me, because I came in early and my foreman said to go up. I went up there and I'm like, I'm literally the only person in Hugh Jackman's apartment right now. Like,
yeah.
This guy, like, he hosts the Oscars and stuff. He's a big deal.
Wow.
I just like that instilled confidence in me too. I'm like, yeah, like I got on this balcony and I'm like, damn, I can live this life one day. I can do this. And I was just
Absolutely.
like, yeah. So Calvin Klein lives right above him in the penthouse. I saw Calvin Klein in the elevator. He's about this tall. Little man. Very, very, very impressive that he's been able to accomplish all that. But
Right.
anyway, I'm getting off on a side tangent.
It's some good story because at the end of the day, like what you said, you envision yourself while you're in places like that. You put yourself in a position and be like, all right, cool. I can imagine myself having this right now. I can actually, see myself doing this. I could see myself living here, right? So he put you in that state of
Oh,
mind where,
100%.
So now like
Now I know what it's like.
exactly, you know
Yeah.
exactly what it's like. You know how it feels, and at some point you can be able to attain it in real life. You
Yeah.
know what I mean, for your own self.
Yeah,
So that's
absolutely.
definitely good.
Definitely.
Right.
And also to like give back to the people that have helped me get where I am. Not only give back to those people, but to give back to the community at large and be able to be a difference maker in people's lives. I think that's a even bigger deal than having a mansion.
Yeah.
But I want both. So
Yeah, me too. Shit. I want a mansion, Lambo, Ferrari, different houses on bi-coastal. I got one here, I got one
we
there.
can still feed the children.
You know what I
right?
mean?
We can do it all.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
now when you got the money, you can actually do certain things like that. But if you don't have the money, it's hard to actually, go out there, help people, do charity, all kinds of work like that. So that's great stuff. But just a little bit more on the Subway story, because I want to hear that part for sure. Like, what made you really be like, all right, cool, let me just start selling some clothes? Like, did you just pick up a few clothes? Did you already have some stuff to sell?
Well, at the
Yeah.
Yeah, at the time it was just prints. So it was just my drawings on paper because it's a lot easier to sell, your designs on paper than having to deal with clothes and sizes and the weight that it comes with it.
Yeah.
You got to carry it around. So paper's very, very much more manageable, especially
Okay.
when you're rolling around, you're mobile in the subway. But I would carry, like, eventually, maybe a year and then on into it, I would carry hoodies and shirts with me, and I'd sell that too. But at the beginning, it was just strictly prints.
Okay.
And I don't know. I think I saw musicians, and I saw a handful of artists in there, and I was like, I'd rather honestly like Jay-Z said, I'd rather live enormous than live dormant. So, or another metaphor would be, I would rather live under the bridge and have tried than live some mediocre life and just settled for less.
That kind of remind me of what 50 Cent say. He'd be like, get rich or die trying. You know what I mean? Because now you actually doing the things that you want to do, not something that's forced upon you.
Yeah.
But how much money would you make out there in the subway? And like, how long would you be out there from like 8 to 8, 9 to 9? Like, what would an average day look like for you out there selling your stuff in the subway?
Well, on the weekends, it would be from maybe 11 a.m. till 11 p.m.
Ooh, that's the grind. And how much money would you make in a day?
It obviously all varied, but I would, at the beginning, I wasn't making much. I was making maybe like $30, $40 a day,
How'd that make you feel though? Like you got thousands of people walking past every day. It's like, yo, I know y'all got money in your pocket. I need that,
Yeah. Well, at the beginning, it was a very primitive way of selling my art because I would print my stuff from my home printer. I would draw it, so I would draw it pencil, ink it in, scan it, color it in on the computer. Mm-hmm. So I had the Adobe Illustrator, and then I would print it. And I used my home printer at the beginning.
So you started from nothing, basically.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Literally, yeah. And then I started using a printer with a really nice printer. And so then I could charge a little more. And so I kept going up. I don't know. Some days I would make like up to $800 in a day.
That's good stuff.
And then some days I would make like, I don't know, like I said, 40, 30. But that was at the very beginning.
Yeah.
The first night I ever did it, I sold one poster. And I was just like, all right, well, I'm on the scoreboard. So I sold that one poster, and I guess that kind of gave me that confidence to keep going. I mean, I would have kept going, but yeah, it felt nice to at least be on the scoreboard.
That's
So,
good. That's
yeah.
good. So what made you actually wake up and get out of bed? Be like, yo, listen, I know this is not guaranteed. I know I'm not about to make no money, but let me just still go out there and just try. You know, like what was the ideology behind that? Like,
Hey man, like I said, I would rather try and live under the bridge than play it safe and be mediocre.
right.
Like I couldn't deal with mediocrity, and I had to like go for it. So
I feel you. That's good
Yeah.
stuff. So now let's take a quick tour of the brick and mortar now, because fast forward, you got your own spots, hats. So far,
well, I love the cork.
I like that one too,
Yeah,
for
the
sure.
Brooklyn cassettes. So this was when they moved from New Jersey to Brooklyn. I had to do something to like flip the Brooklyn Nets,
Okay.
and I used the same swordfish font that said from Hello Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Hello Brooklyn. You remember Hello Brooklyn?
Nah, I don't.
Well, when they first moved here.
Oh yeah,
they went
yeah.
on-
That was a big thing.
They
for
went
sure.
on a marketing
Yeah.
campaign that said
Hello, Brooklyn.
Hello Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And so I kept the swordfish font and flipped it to cassettes because I like the old school stuff too.
Okay.
So it's like a cassette tape, and I don't know, people really love this one.
All right.
Cork.
And what's this? Yeah. What's the second one?
Elon Musk versus Jeff Bezos,
That's a good fight.
because that's like two titans of industry going at it. Two fairly controversial figures, especially Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Who I love, by the way. I don't care what nobody says. I love Elon. And winner claims Mars. I mean, it's the International Space Station boxing event of the century here.
Right.
So you can't go wrong with that one.
Okay. And then your third favorite one you
The
say.
third favorite, I mean, that's on this particular rack, I'm going to have to say the New York Kicks. So we got the Pigeons.
New York Kicks instead of Knicks.
Yeah, so we got the Pigeons. We got the telephone pole. We got the shoes hanging from the telephone pole right here.
Those are classics.
And that's the one Spike got.
Yeah.
So he got this, but in blue. But yeah.
Okay.
So-
All right. Cool. How you feel about the Knicks though? Like overall.
How do I feel about the Knicks?
How you feel about the Knicks?
I mean, they've been dirty gym bag for a while, but I think they're gonna make a run this year. I think.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, they're at least gonna be top 4 in the East. I think.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so. All right. So now, as far as T-shirts, like, what's one of your favorite spots?
You got Yankees.
Okay.
Bronx Bombers, Yankees. You got
Got the spray paint.
the spray paint like bomber. You bombing.
Yep.
And then you got the World War II jet bomber plane. Just a plane.
Bronx Bombers. That's dope.
Yeah.
How'd you actually create this piece? Like, what was
This actually took me from the year 2013 to 2016 to complete.
really?
So I worked on it on and off. I thought, oh, that's it. Nah, that's not it. That's it. Nah, that's not it. So we were talking about the week process, Nisi.
Yeah.
But this was more like a year
A
process.
few years behind that.
Yeah, so I went through a lot of different iterations before I finally said, all right, I put the pen down.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool. I like that. And then, like, as far as the hoodies, I mean, the jackets right here. I see two things that I like.
Okay.
Like the jacket, and I like this T-shirt right here. I don't know what it's about,
Okay.
but I just like this shirt right
Yeah,
here. Like,
so
this
that's-
one is dope.
That's a one-of-one style. Neurological head, a bombshell, Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
Elephant. I love elephants too.
Okay.
But yeah, shameless plug. Goes straight to the
This looks like
website.
an actual person, like,
Yeah.
the skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it looks like.
It's like the neural network.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I like to do. These are called one-of-ones, which means I screen print all over.
Yeah.
So I make it once and never make it again. So it keeps
nice.
everything is like a one-of-one.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then as far as on this rack, this is probably like one of my favorites so far because I
Okay.
really like this hoodie. I mean, this logo by itself. I'm like, yo, I think I need PJ to actually sketch me out a tattoo. You know what I mean? Because I want to get
I
something
get that a lot.
tatted
You better get in
as far
line.
as New York. Like, I want it tatted, especially like something like this. The heart with the artery.
Yes.
I would just
Yeah.
put Brooklyn, Queens. Yep, that one.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, Queens, probably Manhattan. Probably the Bronx.
Yeah.
But just Brooklyn, Queens. Probably, but definitely.
Staten because it doesn't,
Or we could probably just do the boroughs. I mean towns and areas in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Crown Heights, Canarsie, Flatbush, East Flatbush, That's what I would probably pick.
And I just made this. I'm a big Allen Iverson fan.
Okay.
So I grew up watching him play,
Right.
and so I actually got to send this out to him.
Yeah.
I think I should. Once I officially drop it on the website, I'm going to DM him and see if I can get an address so I can send it to him. I think he would really like this. So,
What would that mean to you if he actually gets a shirt like this and actually wears it?
oh man, hey, if one of my idols is wearing my gear, I mean, look at Spike Lee.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Spike Lee's wearing my stuff, and I didn't even ask him to. He just came in and bought it. So I mean, if AI was rocking my AI, I mean, I'd be very grateful.
Okay.
I'd be very happy. Yeah,
That's
of course.
good.
So we'll see. I'll keep y'all posted.
I bet. So I like that. We're gonna definitely put this in a clip for sure. See if we could get AI.
Yes,
'Cause
please.
That would be dope.
Yeah,
that would
he's-
definitely be dope.
He's man. I saw his we talking about practice interview live, and ESPN didn't even like blink out his curse words. He's like, "Man, what the fuck? We talking about practice?" And I'm like, "Am I watching ESPN right now? Like, they're not even like he's
bloopers,
dropping
nothing.
F-bombs right
Yeah,
now. That was
yeah.
So that was
Get him
crazy.
off the channel, please. let's go to commercial. Okay, and
We
then
got selfies at Tiffany's. So,
All right.
So that's my all-time crush, Audrey Hepburn.
okay.
She was just so elegant and classy. I don't know. Just love her, man. Just like, love her. What else? I've got designs for days. Y'all want to stay out here for a few hours? This is the screen printed version of the Tyson versus Van Gogh here. And, you know, like I said, ear jokes for days. He's like my all-time favorite fighter, my all-time favorite painter.
Yeah.
And since he cut his own ear off and he bit Evander Holyfield's ear, it's just like a match
That's
made
so
in
weird.
heaven.
You know what I mean?
There's a match made in heaven. So
Yeah.
people love this. This is actually one of my top sellers, like top 3 for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people go crazy for this one.
So you like all the controversial stuff,
Oh yeah.
basically? Would you ever do
Like I
a-
said, if it's not controversial, it's boring. It's not stimulating my mind.
Would you do like a Trump versus Biden T-shirt?
I actually literally have been
You could-
talking about that.
You could definitely
Yeah.
do that, and it will go crazy, especially
Yeah.
during an election.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
What? Are you familiar with Bandman Kevo? You familiar with Bandman Kevo? He's a rapper basically.
Badman Kevo?
Bandman Kevo.
Bandman Kevo?
He has a tattoo of Trump on his leg. Like literally, he said he has 2 different tats
Oh yeah?
of Trump on his leg. I'm
Okay.
like, wow. I forgot why he said he did it, but it's kind of similar to what you were saying just now. Yeah, so
Cool.
it's just food for thought. It
Yeah.
just came to mind.
I'll remember that name.
Yeah, Bandman Kevo. Definitely
Cool.
check him out.
Yeah.
But we're gonna close up soon. So now my last question is, where do you see the brand going in the next 5 years from now? Do you see yourself still here? Do you see yourself in big offices? Do you see like all your top celebs, like all your top 10 people that you wanted to wear your stuff, actually wearing it? Like, where do you see your business going in the next 5 years from now?
That's probably a really good question because I would equivocate, is that a word?
Equivocate.
To a video game.
Okay.
So like in Mario, Bowser's the final boss, right?
Right.
So I've been going through all those levels. I've been going through all the tubes, popping out of the tubes,
Yeah.
popping out of the tubes,
Yeah.
going down the tubes, popping out of new tubes.
Yeah.
And so I'm like at a point where I've developed the brand so much that I'm pretty much now ready for that final boss.
Yeah.
And so I'm ready to take this worldwide. And I got control of my own production.
Yeah.
I've got all my designs. I've got I could lose my left arm today and I could survive the rest of my life off these designs because I have dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens literally
Right.
of designs. So
That's good.
obviously I'm going to continue to create, but I got to be able to eat off of my past work.
Right,
And this is
right.
all my work up until this point. So I don't know, 5 years from now, it's tough to say, but
Or even 3.
3 years from now, greatest brand in the world. 5 years from now, greatest brand in the galaxy.
I like the mindset.
Yeah,
I like the mindset.
yeah.
I like
I
it.
mean, it's the greatest brand in the world right now. It's just nobody knows about it yet.
Just
I
yet.
mean, not nobody, but just not, you know, not enough.
Right.
So
How do you develop? Like, I keep asking the same question. Never mind, y'all got it. So, what's one advice that you would give somebody that's young in their 20s? They want to have a successful brand just like yours. What advice would you give them? What would you tell them to actually do right now?
you got to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, do you got to ask yourself, do I have the talent for this? And then you got to have the balls to set foot and go do it. Like, that's it. You either have the talent or you don't. If you don't have the talent, do maybe something else.
Yeah.
If you have the talent and you're confident, go forth. But you got to go forth with a big set of balls, because this world is cold. Absolutely. And you got to grind. You can't, like, you know. Like, for me, obviously, I didn't come from, like, a silver spoon.
Right.
So I got to grind.
Yeah.
So it's different for everybody's situation, but me personally, like I said, I'd rather fail and live under a bridge and tell myself that I tried than live some mediocre life.
Yeah.
So that's where I am, and that's just I guess that's my ideology, as you say, an ideology. That's my ideology.
So now let me ask you one last question again. So now, would you rather $5 million in cash or cut off your dreams right now and take that $5 million or even $10 million?
Wait, what was my option? Say that.
So now you're so stuck up on your goal, like, listen, it has to work or it has to work. Would you cut your dreams for $10 million right now?
That's tough to answer, because I have the talent. So I could take that 10 million and just make a new something with my talent.
Right.
But 10 million's a pretty good number.
That's a good amount of bread. That set you up for a good, a few years for sure.
I'd probably take the 10 million and just start a new brand. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah. I didn't think I would say that, but 10's a pretty good number. Yeah.
I bet. Yeah. So that's and how can the people find you?
Just type in PJOR. On Instagram.
Okay.
PJOR.
Any websites as well?
NewYorkfuckery.com.
Damn, I like the domain name. Is anybody trying to buy that domain?
No, actually, my best domain is lagrams.com. Like LA Rams.
Okay.
But LA with a G. lagrams.com. That's this one.
Let me see.
Let me show that. Actually, this one. Let me show that one. lagrams.com. I also have the domain losangelesgrams.com. I took them both. So
yeah. That New York fuckery definitely go crazy though. I like that. All right, cool. So, and what's the address to the shop? How can they, come in?
36 East 18th Street, just north of Union Square Park here in New York, between Park Avenue and Broadway, 18th Street.
All right, bet. Thank you.
All right, thank you.